this meme is what put the idea in my head to do this. And it was before I even found Vicky. It was more like, I think I want to have a Halo LAN party at some point. And then this was just the time I could force people to do what I wanted. So, I want to take y'all back with me to 2007 real quick. Now, maybe 2006, not really sure. Now, obviously a lot of the group here are gamers. I will say I've played a lot of different game genres in my life. I played strategy, I played League, FPS, a little bit of MMOs, RPGs. I kind of been all around the different genres, but there was a pretty strong stretch from about, 6th grade to about end of high school where FPS was mostly what I played. My first core memory playing in FPS was at Barber Bush Middle School. Shout out to my Broncos out there. Actually, I don't know. I never asked you about this, but in karate, they did a lock-in where everyone was able to come to the gym, and it was a 24-hour sleepover, and they had like games and all kinds of different stuff. Shin was in karate too. Were you there?
No.
Oh, you should have went to those. Okay. So, I believe I was in 6th grade. And this is like a core memory for me I'll never forget, but I came in and they had 4 Xboxes with system link cables and they had Halo 2 running. And I had never played a shooter really ever. Like I tried GoldenEye at my friend's house one time and that was kind of it. My mom was like, you're not allowed to play gun games. So Halo 2 was my first real experience when I had any competency playing. And that was like one of the most fun gaming experiences I ever had. It was freaking lit. We had 4 Xboxes all connected and we were playing Halo 2. And then from there I was kind of hooked. A lot of my early birthdays in middle school and high school, we were bringing our Xboxes over to my house, Jesse's house. I played Halo with him and his family members. He'd come to my house and all our friends would come to mine and we'd play Halo 2. So Halo is a game that's always special to me in my heart. I'm hella biased towards it. I think it's the best. I think Halo 3 is the best first-person shooter that's ever been made. And if you tell me I'm wrong, I'll just tell you to talk to the wall. And hopefully maybe you guys will maybe share that same opinion with me after tonight. So yeah, I want to go ahead and play this trailer for you, just to get a little bit of the vibe going.
Never knew what's up there. Like what? Maybe someone up there was wondering what it's like here. I guess. Do you think we'll ever meet them? I hope so. Don't you?
Oh shit.
Now, the reason I wanted to show that trailer is just because I remember that trailer. Like I remember watching it. The hype that I have from Halo 2, I kind of came to it at the end of its life, but it was still the game that was out there. When this got announced, I was hella hyped. I believe, if I remember correctly, I pre-ordered it, and I don't think my mom let me go to the midnight release, but like the next day I was there and I picked it up from the GameStop. It was walking distance from our house. That trailer hyped me the hell up, and that game paid off like 10 times fold in what I was even expecting. A lot of core memories with Daniel and Jesse playing that game, just because that was kind of the era that we were there playing. And the other thing is just Master Chief in general. He kind of has that same thing with Spider-Man, right? Where you don't know what he looks like, so anybody can be him. I kind of identify with that. I thought it was good. I heard they showed his face later on, but I pretend like that didn't happen. The whole point is Master Chief can be anybody, right? Also, I had this hoodie. Jesse probably remembers it very clearly, but that was my favorite hoodie in the whole world, and it was Master Chief on it, and I wore that hoodie for way too long. probably like every day at high school. Yeah. So yeah, it was probably hella sticky.
When you first start the game and this song comes on and that's the backspin, it gives you a little bit of nervousness, right? Like I got a little nervous. No, I'm not scared. No, like
1 hour.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I'm crazy.
Alright, so I have a presentation here to explain how the LAN party is going to work. There's a lot of concerns out there. I think Andrew's asked me 3 different times how the teams are going to maybe 4.
You're the ones win, guys.
I had some memes over here too. I think this meme is what put the idea in my head to do this. And it was before I even found Vicky. It was more like, I think I want to have a Halo LAN party at some point. And then this was just the time I could force people to do what I wanted. So, yeah, so just some memes for you there. Now, I never thought to do this before. Just this idea just sprang up on me literally today, and I was like mad typing. I was listening to Daniel give advice to Shin and Rocky, and I was like, fuck, like a lot of these people don't really have experience in Halo, and like not having that like lowest amount of information, like it really hurts. So I put a couple slides here just to give you guys some tips. I'm gonna try to, we can take as much time as we need. If you have questions on a slide, just raise your hand and we'll go through it. So I'm not gonna explain every single mechanic in the whole game, but I'm gonna explain what I think is the most important. And then, Jesse, Joji, Dale, if you wanna add in anything, Chase, anyone who's played Halo can add it. So first thing I wanna explain is the radar system. So this is probably one of the most unique things about Halo in that on the default mode, everyone that's moving, you can see them on the radar. Versus like Call of Duty, right? Like you have to shoot your gun and then you're visible. So this radar will tell you where literally everybody is. The only way to not show up on the radar is if you crouch. If you crouch, then you won't be visible while you're on the radar. And then crouch is pressing in the left stick. You may have to hold the stick down, so just kind of keep that in mind. But it's very obvious to you if you're crouching because you're going to move very slow. So if you want to hide around a corner, but you still need to move, you want to crouch as you go, crouch walk. So I think I put it on here, but if there's levels that have multiple levels to them, it won't show you like if they're above or below you, I believe. It's just like kind of where they are. Okay, grenades. Grenades are incredibly, incredibly important in Halo. So for you to kill someone, you have to go through their shield first. I have another slide on shield, so I should touch on that one first. But once you knock their shield down, then they become very easily killable. But the quickest way to knock someone's shield out is to hit them with a frag grenade. If you place a frag grenade within a close range of someone, it will immediately kill all their shield, and then just a few bullets will kill them afterward. There's a couple different grenade types. Plasma and spike grenades are special. They don't do as much AoE damage as a frag grenade, but if you hit the person, it will one-hit kill them. I also put on here that sticking someone with a plasma is a very embarrassing way to kill someone, so if you're trying to clown on the homies, hitting them with the plasma is definitely the way to do it.
If you hit with a plasma, please yell, "Get blue screen, bitch."
Yes. Very satisfying way to get kills. And then left bumper will switch between your grenade types. So on the HUD, top left, it'll show you the different grenades. The spike grenades I feel like aren't on all the maps. It's mostly frag and plasma. So definitely find the plasma, switch to them, and then if you need a frag, switch back. Melee. Melee is incredibly important in Halo. Like Call of Duty has knives, but that's just kind of a side thing. You don't really need to use them that much. In Halo, melee does a lot of damage. One melee from the front will take out an entire shield. So 2 melees will kill someone. There is like a timer on like how quickly you can melee. You can't melee like super quick back to back. There's a little bit of like a delay there. A melee from behind will auto kill on one hit. That's called an assassination. I also put on here that's the other embarrassing way to kill someone. Now, everyone kind of maybe realized by now, but the assault rifle is the starting weapon. The most common way you're going to fight someone is when you have an assault rifle and they also have an assault rifle. And basically like that pattern in 1v1 is you're going to try to shoot them with as many of those AR bullets as you can while closing the distance and then ending with a melee. That's like your most efficient and like high probability chance of killing someone. If you run out of bullets, you immediately want to close the distance in melee. pretty much in Halo, you never want to run away unless the person has like a sword or a hammer or like a one-hit kill type of weapon. Weapons. Okay, so Halo is really big on the weapons on the map. Everyone spawns with an assault rifle, and there's all kinds of different weapons on the map, but the power weapons are the ones that are most important. So those are your snipers, lasers, rocket launchers, sword hammer. There's a couple others I think as well. But you kind of need to know where the weapons are. We can't get into all that. Like the three of us probably and Joji maybe remember where those weapons are, but if you don't know, try to remember when you see it that first time and kind of know that's where it is. But the maps are designed in a way where you can kind of tell an area is a little bit more important. It's usually a little bit more exposed or strategically placed in some way, and that's kind of where the power weapon will be. It's very important to manage those because of how strong they are. You can get double kills or triple kills with them, fairly easily. And the more your team does better at managing those weapons, higher chance you're going to have of winning. If you die with the weapon, the other team will get it too. So that's part of the strategy as well. If you use up that ammo, then whatever ammo is left they have. So maybe you can use up at least some of it just to get rid of it. And yeah. Oh, BR. Okay, so the battle rifle is pretty much, in my opinion, like the best overall weapon in the game. There's usually multiple battle rifles on the map, but they're also in specific locations. It looks kind of like, the assault rifle is kind of just like a rectangle basically, but the battle rifle kind of has like a diagonal to it, and then it comes down and goes like that. And when you're holding it, you'll see a scope on it. The assault rifle doesn't have a scope. The reason that weapon is good is because it can hit headshots with its burst, and it's very accurate at medium and long range. That's the weapon. Anytime you see a battle rifle, you should be picking it up. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. That's more of an opinion based, but in general, the battle rifle is a weapon you want to have. If you get headshots with that, you're going to get a lot of kills. Anything else to add on battle rifle?
It's like an assault rifle with a scope.
Kind of.
It shoots and bursts.
It shoots and bursts. Yeah. The main benefit with it is it's very accurate at medium and long range. The assault rifle is really only accurate in short range. And most of the time, you're in the game, you're not really in short range unless it's a very small map.
Is there damage drop off, like
no
on range?
No.
Okay.
And I think in Halo, there's actually no bullet drop on any weapons. There's zero
bullet drop like damage.
No, I know, but I was also mentioning there's no bullet drop. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's actually a lot of the reason why I struggle with games that have bullet drop and don't do hit scan, because I'm so used to this. Okay, miscellaneous items on the map. I'm not sure why those icons end up over there. That's kind of weird, but that's an overshield, that's an active camo. There's a few others, but those are the main two that you'll see. If you walk, all you have to do is walk into them, and then you get them for these two. Overshield just gives you 2 shields, but that extra shield will not recharge. So I still haven't talked to you about shields yet, and I probably should, like I said, do the shields one higher up. But basically, once you get the overshield, you have 2 shields, but just keep in mind that it won't recharge. So any damage you take is permanent until you get back to your normal shield, which is rechargeable. And then active camo turns you invisible, but I mean, you kind of look wavy, so like definitely people can see you, but if things are happening quickly, like they won't see you. These other items here, the bubble shield, deployable cover, I think that's a flash, and then that's the energy drain. There's a few others. I just put these 4 because these are, I think, the more common ones that I see on the map. But those items bound to your X button, and basically when you pick it up, it'll look like an orb on the map. I didn't include a picture of that. But these are the icons you'll see kind of in the left side of your HUD, upper left. And if you press the X button, it just deploys it. So the bubble shield is what you saw in that trailer, right? In the trailer, when you put it down, you get a bubble around you, and no bullets or like grenades or anything can come in. But if they walk into you, then they can do anything. So like you're not fully safe, but you're safe from range at that point. So if someone has like a sniper rifle and you have no way of killing them in that range, you throw a bubble shield down, they can't hit you. Deployable cover is a little bit different. It's a shield only on one side. In the Duck Hunt game, when you guys are throwing that down, that was the deployable cover, the one that you can't pass through physically at all, but also like the bullets and stuff can't either. The flash just like makes a blinding light, no one can see. I think it flashes you too though, and it's not that common honestly. The last one, energy drain, this one drains someone's shields to 0, but if you like aren't careful, you can also drain your own shield when you use it. So I don't personally, pretty much the bubble shield is the main one I ever try to pick up if I see it. The other ones I don't really use that much personally, but it's just like a me thing. Jumping. So jumping is very important in Halo, but there's a lot of risk and it's kind of risky. So jumping is a great way of being unpredictable and making people miss. but the second you jump, I kind of described it earlier as you played your hand, because the projectile, your like body movement is incredibly predictable. It's basically just like a really smooth arc. So once someone jumps and you figure out that pattern, which you will pretty quickly, you can very easily follow your reticle on them and kill them. Some pros to jumping are if you have a weapon like the rocket launcher and you want to shoot down at the ground, it's easier to do that when you're higher up than if you're on the same level, right? Because with a rocket launcher, you want to hit them with that AoE. So if you shoot from the ground, you may miss them and it goes way far back. But if you jump and you miss them, it may hit right here and explode them. So there's certain things like that where you want to be in the air. Yeah, I think that's it with jumping. Scoping. So scoping is kind of funky in Halo. It's the right stick. I would say in general, compared to other shooters, you don't scope in Halo as much as you do in other ones. Most stuff you're going to shoot from just the regular kind of view. The sniper rifle is the one that's probably the most opposite. You'll mostly scope with that because it's good at long range. And I think it has 2 scope distances. So when you press it once, it's like a 5x, you press it again, it's a 10x, and then you press it again and you go back. If you get shot or damaged in any way when you're scoping, you're going to lose your scope, and then you have to rescope again. And that's really kind of it. I mean, there's some stuff on here too. I put a note here on BR. Like with the BR, you may think in your mind like, oh, it has a scope, I should use it. But honestly, most of the time, you want to be able to just use it in the regular view. I really only scope with the BR if you're going really long range. Yeah. Vehicles. So for a lot of the early modes, we'll have vehicles off. But then when we get to like team stuff and objective maps, the vehicles will be on. Vehicles are the most important thing on the map to control. If you have the strategy, you know what's going on, like on certain maps when the game starts, you usually rush to the vehicles first, and it's like a fight at the vehicle, and whoever kind of wins that first fight gets that vehicle and then can kind of push their lead from there. Certain vehicles can have multiple people in them, like the Warthog, Mongoose, Scorpion Tank, and then like this one, right, if you jump on the back, you can use the gunner, things like that. The other thing to note with vehicles is you can steal them from people, it's called boarding. So if you get close enough to a vehicle, you can press the button that you would press to just get into it, and it boards. So you basically, once you start a board, someone can still kill you from, like another person can kill you from range, but once that animation is done, you'll knock them out, you'll take out their whole shield, but they're still alive, and they could board you back if you don't kill them quick enough.
Can you leave when someone is boarding?
Once they start the boarding animation, you can't do anything. You basically just have to hope that one of your teammates can kill them before the boarding finishes. It's also very, very embarrassing to do this to someone. So if you board someone, like, yeah, There's a weird situation with boarding where if you have a plasma grenade, you can like stick the plasma in, and that's like a guaranteed kill too. But like that's not super common. But if you see a button for that, that's kind of what that is. Vehicles are destroyable. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else with vehicles, right?
What are the ones on the right?
So yeah, I just grabbed this first screenshot I could find. Most of these vehicles you won't see. I will say like this. Basically everything on this slide except for these two, I think you'll probably see tonight. And on this screen, I think the only one you'll see is this one. The other vehicles. Oh, this one, not this one? Okay, it's one of these. It might be this one. So, okay. So the other ones that are on here, I think, are campaign vehicles, and they're not in multiplayer. So I couldn't find a screenshot of just the multiplayer one, so I grabbed the quick connected. Okay, shields. So yeah, I should have put this early up, but this here shows your shield. When that goes all the way to the bottom, you'll notice like a blinking red, and I think your border, your whole screen blinks red also. Basically, when that happens, unless you're gonna kill someone, most often you want to hide. Once you hide for about 2 to 3 seconds, you'll hear a noise, and then that signifies your shield is recharging. And I think while it's recharging, I'm not sure if it can be hit, I'm not really 100% sure there, but basically, you want to fight, and then when that goes to red, you want to hide, let it recharge, and then go back in. So if you're planning, if you're trying to kill like multiple people, the tactic is to like kill one, hide that your shield recharge, come back and kill the other one. It's pretty hard to double kill just without like on one shield unless like you really are him. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's it on shields. Okay, so any questions on any of those general tips? Anything you want to add? Anyone I didn't cover? Okay, cool. So I want to talk about the format for this. So how it's going to work, I'm going to start a randomizer. and that's gonna place everyone on the 4 consoles. So whoever just ends up in group 4, you're all on this one, but everyone is gonna compete against the 3 other people on their Xbox. So we're gonna do 3 rounds of randomized free-for-all with the people on your Xbox. So you're gonna be moving around. Now we've set up all the settings, and I think everyone's kind of seen that a little bit, but everyone has decent settings, but you're more than welcome to pause at the beginning, get your settings tweaked in correctly, and then go from there. We'll do 1 test run before we actually start, just so everyone has a final chance to see what controls they want. We'll do those 3 on those maps, so free-for-all on that map, it should be to 25 kills. Then round 4, we're gonna go to pit, and we're gonna do free-for-all of 8. So 2 Xboxes will be like pulled together, and it'll be 8 free-for-all, and then the last one is gonna be all 16 free-for-all. So for every single round, there is so for every single round, there's gonna be a thing where you can update your kills. So it's just honor system, go in and hit edit, and then you can type in your thing. Now, that QR is going to be on that little TV. I'll turn it back on. But if you have questions, hit me up. But once you scan it once, you'll have that page up and you can do it. That page also will allow you to choose your profile. I just ask that you do this at the beginning of each round so that if people have questions about who's playing who, they can refer to that and they can know, like, right? Because the thing that makes LAN parties fun is knowing who you're dunking on and who's dunking on you, right? Getting those revenge kills, whatever. And the only way we're going to really know is if we know who's playing who. That's not to say, like, you know, you're probably gonna shout out, like, you know, who's so and so, but you know, if we can all follow that system, then we'll know pretty effectively who's playing who. Then that whole first phase 1 will be worth 50 points. So whatever your performance is in there, there's a point equivalent up to 50 points. That will also set the seeding that will create the team. So it'll just be a standard snake, you know, there's gonna be 5 teams of 3, so it'll go like 1 to 3, 3 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 1, all the way until everyone's picked. That'll be phase 2, the team phase. Now, this is gonna have to change slightly because now we have 5 teams of 3 instead of 4 teams of 4. So some of this is not perfectly correct, but in this mode, we're not gonna be doing Slayer, we're gonna be doing strictly objective games. Now, I'm still not exactly sure how we're gonna pick those, so we're gonna do that on the fly, but I wanna quickly explain what these game modes are. Oddball, there's gonna be a ball on the map, you pick it up like a weapon, and then you start getting a timer for every second that you have it, and first team to get to a certain number wins.
You can melee with it.
If you melee with it, you get a 1-hit kill, but when you're holding it, you can't shoot your weapon. King of the Hill, there's a location on the map, and whatever team holds it gains time. 1 flag, it's capture the flag, but only one side at a time. So you have to go and kill the team, take their flag, take it all the way back to your spot. Neutral bomb is kind of similar to flag, except it's the opposite. So you take a bomb in, you plant it, and I think you have to defend it for a certain amount of time as well. I also have CTF on here, but that's probably a mistake, so we'll see. VIP is basically like president, so you gotta protect a certain person for a certain amount of time, and I think maybe it's like number of times you kill them, then they lose or something like that. The one thing in common in all of these is it doesn't matter how many kills you get. So if all you do is focus on kills in these modes, you may not win. You gotta play the objective. Any questions about the modes you see up here? Okay, cool.
So phase 1 is like individual.
Yes.
Phase 2 is like more team.
Yes. And then we'll go into phase 3 for a big team. Now, we may cut this depending on time, just because I'm not sure how quickly this is going to go. Last time we tried it took some time, but I would like to do this because things get really epic when you can do this many numbers of people. And we'll figure out how to balance it because I know we have an uneven number. But yeah, we'll get to that point at the end when we do. Then we will go into customs, and this is what we may cut phase 3 for, because this is where Halo really gets fun. I mean, the competitive stuff is fun, I'm highly competitive, but like, customs are a blast. And I would love to play all of these, and I know that you could play one for hours even. So I don't know how much time we'll have. That's when, if people want to start dropping out, you know, they can. We don't need every single person to full customs. Duck Hunt, I think everyone tried already, so you kind of know how that works. But like the way that works, right? Everyone takes a turn. So for all 16 or all 15 of us to be able to shoot, that's gonna take a long time. So we probably won't be able to do that. Predator, is a really cool one where there's like one invisible guy with a sword and he's trying to like kill everyone else, and you're trying to kill the invisible guy but you can't see him. Fat Kid, we tried earlier, but there's a separate map for that. That's the actual OG one. I think Dom found it. So it's kind of the same style, except instead of a big ass room, it's like a really small tunnel, and other than that, it's the same thing. And then Left 4 Dead, I actually have no memory of how that one works, but I remember that being a name of a custom game I liked. So if we have time, we'll probably put this last if we have time. Oh, I forgot Halo. Halo is like a racing one, so it's literally like no one's killing anyone, but you drive like a warthog or a mongoose on like this track, and I think it's just first to the end wins or something like that. But it's pretty fun. Yeah. Okay, so I need to stop the music, but I kind of I got one last quick surprise for y'all here on this. So I kind of got into a rabbit hole of Cameo, and found a really cool one that applies to what we're doing tonight. So I'm just gonna hit play and kind of let it do its thing.
Well, hey there. This video is for Michael and the Bachelor Party.
No
It's
way.
Jeff Steitzer, the voice of God multiplayer announcer for the game Halo. And it is my understanding that you are all going to be getting together for a big party that will include a 16-man Halo 3 LAN party, and it sounds indeed as if it's going to be absolutely epic. Now, Michael, I believe, is the person who sent this request to me. I'm assuming as a result of that it's his bachelor party. 31. And you're getting married. I am so delighted. You know, I was 31 when I got married, and had a good run, I have to say. Produced two absolutely spectacular children. So I have nothing but good things to say about marriage. I'm delighted for you. But first, party. So I want you to think about what kind of a night it's going to be. I've got a feeling that you and your fellow party goers, Michael, are going to want to make sure that you are racking up all the double kills, triple kills, overkills that you can. You want to make sure that you are ready to go on a killing spree, a killing frenzy, so that you can go out there and claim a kill-tacular, a kill-pocalypse, a kill-tastrophe, and end up as Killionaires, because I want to find out that you are unstoppable, invincible, unfrickin' believable. So all of you, let's get to work and finish the fight. I want all of you slayers out there on the field, gaining the lead, capturing the flag, and having an absolutely awesome time. And I'll just be sitting here thinking about you, you know, being hell's janitor. So have an amazing time. I want to hear that by the time you're done, you will all be saluted with Hail to the King. No, that should really be Hail to the Kings. Have a great event. And of course, besides playing Halo, so I assume there are going to be other sort of wonderful things as well, right? I mean, good things to eat and drink, maybe a little bit of music, although the music that comes with Halo is pretty hard to top. In any event, have a fabulous time. And finally, when the big day finally arrives, I hope that you will all do Michael proud and be there for him. And Michael, as far as you're concerned, I have one piece of advice. And that is, you have to realize it can be a little nerve-wracking standing up in front of a bunch of people. I do it all the time in front of strangers. That is nerve-wracking, you know. Happily, with the lights in my eyes, which is the way most places are presented, I can't see anybody, so most of the time it's not too bad, unless, you know, you're trying to be funny and you don't get anything back. Well, that's not the case with you. Most churches don't have lights on the folks that are standing up for the ceremony, so you're going to know who's out there. But you know what? They're all people who adore you. They're all friends and family. You don't have to worry about them. And you're going to have all of your friends who are helping you, you know, being groomsmen and stuff. So that's not going to be a problem. All you need to do is to make sure you are focused on the person that you are getting married to, because you will never see her as radiant, as joyous, as happy, as full of tears and laughter. She'll just be glowing. So you memorize every moment of the ceremony, keeping your focus on her, because years from now you may end up every once in a while having a little bit of a squabble about something, and it'll be stupid, and it'll get out of hand, and you'll think, what the hell am I doing with this person? All you have to do is go back and remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, the way you saw her on that day when you first promised that you were going to be with her for the rest of your life. You do that, and there is no argument, no squabble, no silly, you know, conflict between you that won't, I promise, immediately evaporate. All right? So, have a great time. Have an incredible wedding down the road. Take care. Stay healthy. And no matter what else you do, all of you, be unfrickin' believable.